Let's talk with Yolanda. How you doing? Thank God it's Friday. Beautiful, beautiful day. Said it was going to rain a little bit, but it's still absolutely a beautiful day. Hope you have your blinds open. I have mine. I hope you have your window open. I did not have this particular window open today because they were doing some work in the building across from me, and there's a lot of dust coming in, and as I disclosed to you, I'm an asthmatic, so didn't want to be choked up and sneezing and sniffling, so I just kept the window closed. But I hope you have yours in to let some fresh air in. How you doing today? First of all, I want to say thank you for just taking your time to tune in. Today, I don't have a candle. I do have my beautiful flowers, as you can see. They have actually start to open up, and they're absolutely beautiful. Today, I also have some coffee. I have some black coffee, which is my favorite, with a little twist of cinnamon in it. And I chose to use this cup because this cup says sun, and you can find the sun out there every day if you look for it. So today I want to get started. I'm going to take a little sip. It's absolutely delicious. I hope you have your coffee or your tea or your water or whatever it is that you would like to have that comforts you to come and go along with me. Today, I want to talk about trauma from COVID 1 year later. We talked about trauma last week, and trauma comes in so many forms. As we talked about the domestic violence, we talked about the fear, the stressors, the anxiety, isolation, childhood trauma. We talked about a lot of different things that all coincide with the trauma. This last year alone, how do we move forward? How do we move forward when, the COVID alone, you may have lost someone. You may have lost your father, your brother, your mother, your father, your grandparents, your loved one, your neighbor. Loss can be trauma within itself. Grief, loss, unresolved. Okay? Can we talk about it, people? How you doing today? Absolutely beautiful. So this is what we're going to talk about, but I want to take a minute and I want to do the breathing. I didn't do the breathing the other day at the end because we were running for time, and I appreciate your time and don't want to hold you any longer than, you have. I just appreciate the fact that you take the time to tune in. So today I would like to start off because we're talking about trauma and just want to check in and make sure everyone's okay. So on 3, we're going to do 5. However, do as many as you can do. We're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to inhale, exhale. Let it go. It's Friday. Inhale. Exhale. It is Friday. Inhale. Exhale. Friday and you're alive. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale the love. And exhale the toxics. Let's get started. How you doing? Okay, so today what I want to do is talk to you about those 5 P's. We talked about trauma and, how it coincides. And for this last year, let's talk a little bit. How y'all doing today? I want to talk a little bit about grief and loss. I want to talk about the 4 P's. Remember when we first started, we talked about the P's. Well, I just want to revisit those P's because it correlates with the trauma. Can we talk about it, people? So I want to talk about precipitating factors. Where the trauma comes and where does the trauma come from? A specific event that can trigger or offset a current problem, a past problem, okay? Trauma, okay, within itself, okay? Trauma that you may not even know that's there, okay? You know, there's so many killings right now of young people killing each other. You know, we're trying to fight the pandemic, you know, trying to move on with our lives and have some kind of normalcy. It's like, okay, hello, can we all be on the same page? We're trying to live, not die. So, you know, an argument or whatever it may be, it shouldn't be that deep, okay? Talk about trauma, talk about fear, you know, afraid to walk out the door, afraid to let your young child, since now there's so many young teenagers that's doing the violence, you're like, okay, if I had to send my child to the store, is he going to be safe? Can we talk about it, people? Okay. Predisposition factor. Okay. Let's talk about the predisposing factor. That's what comes, the fear, the anxiety, the stress. It's a hierarchy. It's like, you know, Maslow. It's like a hierarchy of needs. Is my needs being met? Are they being met? Whether they're mentally, physically, emotionally, you know, is there a bond of attachment, okay? Or is there a detachment, okay? Can we talk about it, people? How you doing today? Hello, everybody out there, and thank you for tuning in. Okay, let's talk about perpetuating factor, okay? These are the things that keep you stuck in time, stuck in a place, stuck in a moment. You know, some people say, oh, I procrastinate. Oh, I say things, but I don't seem to be able to get them done. That's stuck. That's stuck. That's being stuck. That's like, okay, how do you come out of being stuck? I need to step outside the box. How you doing today? Can we talk about it, people? Protective factor. A protective factor, this is when you are showing your strength. This is, you know, a little bit of self-disclosure here. You know, when I was a young girl, you know, I faced trauma more than once, you know, where it was severe to me. However, I needed to be resilient. I needed to be empowered to make it to today. So when we talk about protective factor is your strength. It's what you pull on. You know, if you have a belief, that's a strong place to be. If you have a support system, it's a strong place to be. Because trauma, you know, trauma is like actually a little deeper than the depression, you know, because you're broken, you're in a dark space, you know, and you may need some assistance to get you out. And it may not be trauma that came your way voluntarily, okay? So trauma is trauma. And if it's real to you, it's real to me. How you doing, people? Can we talk? Yeah, it's a heavy subject, okay? But it's real. It's real. So, when we talk about the protective factor, we talk about different things with strength to be empowered, to be resilient, to alter your behavior, to change your sense of being, change your way of thinking, change your or alter your mood, but in a positive way, in a positive direction, okay? Like I said, it does take a village, and we can pull on the rope to help us get there, but you gotta want to get there. You gotta want to say, I want more. I want more for myself. I dare to dare, okay? It's been a year. It's been a year just with the COVID alone. We've lost so many people. That's trauma. Again, do we stay stuck? Do we stay stuck in that moment, stuck in that time? Or do we lift ourselves up? And do we continue to move forward? Do we continue to move forward for self? Do we continue to move forward for the ones that we've lost? Can we talk about it, people? How you feeling today? Trauma's real. Grief is real. Fear is real. Okay? Trauma could be within this last year that you could have lost someone, and you could have became the head of the household. Trauma could be you were in that domestic violence and moved out, and now where it was 2 incomes is 1. And that could be a hardship. That could be trauma, not knowing, how can you maintain? How can you maintain for yourself? How can you maintain for your children? Okay? That's trauma. Okay? Taking on more responsibility than what you were used to, that's a lot. If you were in a relationship and it was a 50-50 relationship, but you knew that your mate had your back, you had their back, but then when they're not there and you're alone, it's a different story. It's like when you're not used to picking up a hammer and nailing the nail, and now the door is falling apart and you got to get the hammer and you go in the toolbox and say, hold up, what all kind of tools do I need? I'm not used to doing this. Well, that's when the resiliency comes in. That's when empowerment comes in, when you say, no, I'm not used to doing it, but I have to do it because it has to get done. I have to secure the door. Can we talk about it, people? How you doing today? I want to take a moment and say, I want to thank, everyone for taking this time to tune in. We have Puerto Rico in the house. We have Florida in the house. We have Germany in the house. We have Baltimore in the house. We have Georgia in the house. We have New Jersey in the house. We definitely have Philadelphia in the house. We had Alaska in the house. I just want to say I appreciate you so much because, if you can use this, fantastic. If you can't, share it with someone else, okay? If you choose to take and share the video, thank you, okay? Because maybe you didn't get anything from it, or maybe you did get something from it, but maybe there's someone else that can get a lot from it, that needed to get something from it. We're the village, okay? So let's talk about mixing the trauma with grief and loss, okay? So, you have the COVID for the last year. Now you have the grief and the loss. Now you have the trauma that was already there. So now you have that plate that we talked about, but that plate is so overfull, okay? It's overfull because the trauma that was from your past never got dealt with. It just suppressed and it just stayed on the plate as a layer, okay? Then you start putting on the fresh trauma from the COVID for the whole year. Then you start putting in another layer of your loved one that you lost, the grief, or not your loved one, but someone you knew. It's another layer. It's another layer. It's another layer. Then if you are in the house, I keep bringing up domestic violence, and I also want to bring up suicidal ideations because right now, people, suicide is on a rampage. Domestic violence is on a rampage. I chose to come on this platform and to give back and to ask you to give back to me so that we can feed off of each other because we all need each other. And because maybe if someone is in a domestic violence relationship and maybe they're isolating or their person have them isolating, the fear is strong that they cannot leave or are afraid to leave. Maybe use the platform. Use the platform if you can't do anything else and ask for the help. Dial 911, okay? But a domestic violence is not healthy, period. There's no justification for it, okay? It's trauma at its highest form. Suicidal ideations, suicidal plan, okay? Again, pick the phone up, call someone. Hey, I haven't talked to you in a minute. I'm just checking on you. Or I'm checking on you and I noticed that, you looked a little different. So I just wanted to see if you was okay. I just wanted to let you know that I'm checking in. That's what I'm talking about, people. We get a sip of this coffee. How you doing today? Hope you have something with me. I drink the coffee black, a twist of cinnamon, because I told you I was an asthmatic, as I self-disclosed, and I drink it because a lot of milk holds in a lot of mucus, and even almond milk or 1% and all of that. I'm an asthmatic, so hey, this is more healthier for me, and I take a little bit of cinnamon because fresh cinnamon has a twist to it, and it has a lot of healing properties as well, okay? And if I need to take this cup versus an inhaler, I'm with it. How you doing today? It's Friday, people. It's Friday. Okay, so I want to talk about this layer of trauma, this layer that's on your plate. Well, one of those things that was on your plate, a part of the trauma, was the grief unresolved, the loss. Whether it was your dad, your mom, again, a family member, a distance, the trauma could just be not being able to say goodbye. The trauma could be within this year that we're talking about, the COVID in the last year, where your loved one dies and you got to wait to bury him, or you got to wait to see him, or you may not have seen him at all. And the fact of them possibly dying alone, that may be traumatic. So there's no big trauma and little trauma. Trauma is trauma. Can we talk about it? How you feeling today? Okay, let's talk about it. But if you haven't been able to say goodbye, let me stay there for a minute. Had you not been able to say goodbye, it's never too late. It's never too late. Whether you want to go to the dollar store, buy some balloons and release them, whether you want to just pray and meditate, whether you want to write in your journal and write a goodbye letter, because there may have been some unresolved things that you haven't said, but yet it doesn't allow you to be the best that you could be, because layers and layers of this trauma is like holding you back. So instead of you moving forward, sometimes you could be stuck, or sometimes you could not only just be in a standstill, you could be moving backwards, and we don't want that. No. So being traumatized and not knowing it, that's major. And that's where we ask for the village, that maybe you don't know that you're traumatized, but someone else can see it. And to let you know that you're not alone, okay? And we can all walk this together, okay? Being traumatized and thinking it's a norm. All this killing and saying, oh my God, I turned on the social media and now our babies are killing babies. And being so numb to it that you're like, oh, okay, that happens all the time. Or that's a shame. Yeah, it is a shame, because it's a part of us. It's a part of our system. And it's a part of not only them being destroyed and other families being destroyed. It can destroy you as well, because maybe one of your loved ones was one of the people. Okay? Can we talk about it, people? It's Friday. And it's time to talk about things. It's time to know that you're not alone. And it's time to say, I need hope. I have hope. I want hope. For today, for this moment, and for the future. Okay? Being traumatized, living day to day, just in a high crime area. You may not, and nor am I suggesting, oh, you have to move. Oh, you may not be financially stable to move. That's when your home becomes your sanctuary, and then you have to find different things. One of the viewers, shout out to Artavia Robinson, and she was saying to me on one of the last lives, she said that, you can reach into your community and see if they have a garden, or perhaps start a garden in your community, which it can beautify your community. It can bring fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, fresh flowers, okay? To sustain your community and to sustain the environment. And it's healthy. And it's outside, okay? Another person, again, like I suggested, I think on the last live, when she was saying, you can go on YouTube, you could be creative, she's making flower pots, you can, again, if you're in that high crime area and you say, oh, I can't move, I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm scared to go out, well, then look around the house. Look around the house and see what you can do, that you can let your creativity come out. Can we talk about it, people? Open the line of communication. Get a Zoom. Get a Zoom with some of your close friends. Get a Zoom going on and do an open mic. Do some poetry. Do some poetry about what you're feeling. Do some poetry about the trauma. Because here's the deal. If you're not getting the help that you need, you do need an out. You need an out and an outlet to let it out, okay? It is so much better out than it is in. Can we talk about it? Okay. Look around your home and just say, okay, I don't have anything in here to be creative, but I'm going to change the furniture around. I'm going to change and take the flower vase and put something else over there, okay? change is good. Change is very good. So, how's everybody feeling? It's Friday. Are you with me with this? Can we talk about it? This is about keeping your truth, okay? This is about being real to self. This is about not camouflaging and saying, oh, that doesn't affect me. It affects us all. And we can talk about it, and we can all start the healing process together. Okay, I have an affirmation for you today. It says, don't dwell on your troubles. Say that again. Don't dwell on your troubles. Troubles are only mental. It is the mind and the manufactures them. It is the mind that manufactures them, and the mind can gore them, banish them, and abolish them. Mark Twain. Okay? I thought that was very appropriate because, our minds can, play a trick on us. Our minds can have us going in a direction. When we talked about fear, and we talked about overthinking, we talked about not processing or processing too much. Processing too much that we could be in our own way. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that because we don't want to be in our own way. We want to move forward. We want to go out, smell the flowers, smell the air, taste it, feel it, and live to the best of who we're meant to be. Okay? This is Women's History Month. Okay? So I would like to send a shout out. I would like to send a shout out to women that has helped me become the woman that I am. I would like to shout out to, first, my grandmother, Hattie Jennings, okay, that had a strong system, which she's my mother's mother. So my shout out is to my mother, Lena Gomez. My shout out is also to my aunt, Mariah Doman, which was like my second mother. My other shout out is to my aunt, Elizabeth Wynn, which again was your aunt, your tia, but like your mother at the same time. And lastly, my other aunt, Rose Canada. Okay. I also want to add my uncle's wife, which her name was Ellen Jennings, because she was also my godmother. These were strong women. These were strong women that made the pave and did the struggle. Okay. But survived, was empowered, was resilient. Okay? And I wouldn't be here today if some of my mother and my family struggles didn't impact me to make me who I am today. So I couldn't think of today giving a salute to anyone else but people that I was a part of, a system, and people that instill morals and ethics and respect and dignity that the school books didn't teach, that you already knew before you got there, okay? That allowed me to be able to be here, be vocal, and be on this platform today. So I salute them all, okay? I salute them all and say I am a product of that system, okay? I want to say that it has definitely been my pleasure to be on this platform, to share with you a little bit of what I know to gain a little bit of what you know. We can work together, bridge it together, you know, and to let you know that you're not alone, and to let you know that trauma's real. It's okay. It's okay to ask for help. It is okay to get help, okay? It is okay, again, if you have an insurance card, and I kind of rehash this all the time because, again, suicide is prevalent, okay? Domestic violence right now is prevalent. Grief and loss is major right now, because even if it's grief and loss, whether it's not a person, it was a pet, or it was you lost your home and you're grieving about it because you don't even know where you're going to lay your head. I just want to say I'm so grateful for this platform, and I hope that you take a moment. If you're into flowers, buy yourself some flowers, smell them, open the door. Even if you don't go out, open the door and get some fresh air, and maybe just peep out, and I would like to close this up with doing a breathing exercise, and I'm hoping that you're still with me. And I'm going to say on 3, if we could do 5, just to close this up and to bring us back down. Hopefully, if you were up to here, you're right here now. So on 3, 1, 2, 3, we're going to go in and we're going to go out. So we're going to inhale, exhale. Imagine that you are, this is called guided imagery. You're at a beautiful place. And even if the trauma is real and is there for you, that you can escape it for a moment to be in a more peaceful environment. Okay? So on 3, 1, 2, 3, we're going to breathe in. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale slowly. Inhale all of the love, all of the positive stuff, all the stuff that you are grateful for. And exhale all the negativity and the toxins. It has been wonderful. I have definitely enjoyed you today. I have enjoyed sharing with you this topic because the topic is so real right now. Mental health right now is so big. Okay? It's not about taboo. It's not about, we can't talk about it. What stays in here stays in here. No! It's real, and it's okay. Had it touched you in some form, let's get help. Let's help each other. Let's be the village, okay? So I say on that note that, again, it's a blessing. I thank all of you. If I haven't had a chance to comment, it's because the camera's a little further away and I really don't see all of your writing, but I will definitely answer. I try to set the camera up so that it gives the focal point. And I'm able to share the topic and feel comfortable and relaxed and bring you in to my home to sit in the chair and just mi casa su casa and let's get it on, okay? So until we meet again, if it's God's will, keep your spirituality first, because that's what would guide you, that would give you the hope that you're looking for. If it's God's will, I will see you next week. I have definitely enjoyed, and I hope you can get something from this. Te aprecioso, que Dios te bendiga, la semana que viene. Muchas gracias. I will see you next week, God's will. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Get out, get some air, or go to the door and get some air. It's beautiful. See you later. Thank you.